Welcome to the Global Assembly of Nations, a place of Lord's righteousness, faithfulness, salvation, love, and truth.
Father Adonai, I have proclaimed what is right in the great assembly. I did not restrain my lips, O Adonai. I did not hide your righteousness in my heart, but declared your faithfulness and salvation. I did not conceal your love and truth from the global assembly of nations. Oh, help me, Adonai. I'm happy you're back here at Global Asona, the Global Assembly of Nations. In our last series, in these first parts of our lessons, we were looking at how Satan attempted for the second time to ruin the God's plan about man. The first time it was about the fruit in the Garden of Eden, and the second time was about the sons of God rebelling against God and even influencing the sons of man to follow suit by coming down, marrying the daughters of man, and even going as far as trying and attempting to pollute the seed of the woman in an attempt to ensure that the seed of the woman that was said was not going to crush the hand of Satan. And therefore today we'll be looking at Noah and the floods. And our key verse is taken from the book of Genesis, once again, 6th chapter, verse 7 to 8. Let's read it together. It says, "And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them." Now, this was the end result of the sin that man did after the influence of Satan. Satan was trying to do his own business, but through the man. He wanted to mock the creation of God, the seed of the woman, so that he can evade the crushing of his hand. But now, once again, we see that the sin was to be punished. There were consequences, both to Satan agents and even to man himself. And we have said, even though the entire world was corrupted, it was polluted, having biological status that was never a copy. It was not the likeness that we found in the beginning, the likeness of God, for Satan had polluted it. And what happened is that for the sons of God that were involved in this, they were all captured and thrown into a bottomless pit. And it was now the turn of man to face the consequences. And we have learned that the man himself was polluted. But God looked for a man that had a lineage that was pure, both in spirit and in body. And this was found in a man called Noah. Noah was the son of Lamech, and his grandfather was called Methuselah. Methuselah was a man after all God's heart. He followed God without moving to the left or to the right. And Noah was raised up by Methuselah. Lamech was not a very committed man in following the commandments of God. but Methuselah was. Actually, it was Methuselah that gave Noah his name. Prophetically, the name meant rest. And it was Noah that was to bring to rest the kind of rebellion a man was having against God at the time. And Noah was called by God. He had decided even never to marry because there had been a prophecy by Canaan before that the world will be destroyed by floods. Noah was again a man like his grandfather Methuselah. He really feared God. He walked in the ways of God. And he felt now, there is no even need for me to marry if God is just about to destroy the world. There is no need of me getting destroyed, my children getting destroyed. Let me just stay like this. And I would not want to see my children rebelling against God like the generation that I'm seeing. But later, God approached Noah. And he told Noah, my son, get married. Get married, for I have a plan with you. And Noah took Naamah, the daughter of Enoch, and he married. He was advanced in years, because at that time Naamah was 580 years, and Noah was only 490 years. But God blessed this couple. They were blessed with 3 sons, Japheth, Shem, and Ham. And when Shem was being born, Noah was 502 years. I'm referring to Shem because I want us later to really follow Shem, because there are so many things that I want us to learn about him that is going to explain some of the things that the world is going through today. And therefore, Methuselah and Noah preached to this generation, and they could not listen. Actually, God told Methuselah and Noah to give a warning that lasted 120 years to see whether these people would change, but they never changed. And therefore, the consequences came. God commanded Noah to make an ark using the wood of gopher at a place that he had chosen for him. And Noah did as he was commanded. During all this time, every man that followed the instruction of God strictly died during this time. And God did not want his people to be destroyed by the flood. And therefore, they died in peace during this time. For the sons of Noah, they got married to the daughters of Eliakim, the son of Methuselah. And after this, Methuselah also died in peace. And now, the time of reckoning came. And on the 10th of the second month, when Noah was 600 years, there was shaking. The earth shook terribly. It shook terribly. And the foundations of the earth were shaken. And there were lightning and thunder that has never been seen on the face of the earth ever. And for 7 days, the earth was chaotic. But I tell you what, the rebellion of these sons of men were like it has never been seen. Because even during the 7 days, none of them repented. Until on the 17th day of that month. And that's where the fountains of water on earth broke open. And the rain started. Noah and his family entered the ark. And before I forget, because this is important, God had commanded animals to come around the ark. Animals of all sorts. And he commanded Noah to sit at the entrance and take animals 2 by 2. And he was specifically told that those animals that will crouch before you, take those ones. And they came crouching before Noah, and he picked them, gave them to his sons, and the sons would pack them inside the ark. And now, all the other animals were left outside. Lions, elephants, leopards, all sorts of animals. But for the clean animals, Noah took 7 couples of each, because he was to use them later for sacrifices. And now when the rain came, when the fountains of water broke, that's when the people of the earth sensed danger. And about 700,000 of them rushed to the ark because they were being overtaken by water. And they started crying to Noah to open for them. But many of them were destroyed by the animals that were outside. And Noah could never even hearken to them. And now, as we conclude, we will be seeing that these floods took a whole year and 10 days, because the floods persistent until the 27th of the second month the following year. And that's when now the other water subsided, and that's when Noah and his family came out. The ark landed on the western mountains of Iran, facing the plateau of what we call today Iraq, on the southern parts of River Euphrates and Tigris. And this is where man again started to settle down. Now, it's important what we are learning today, because again, people have given this a racist approach, trying to say that the sons of Noah, some of them were white, Japheth, Shem was whichever color, Ham was this other color. But this could not have happened, because as we have seen, Noah was a pure breed. He had never ever polluted himself in spirit or in the body. But we shall take this a step further in our next series, because the next series shall be about the generations of Noah. Don't miss that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking your time at the Global Assembly of Nations, the place of love and truth. Kindly leave us with your feedback and follow us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Global Assembly of Nations. You can also subscribe with our YouTube channel at Global Assembly of Nations. Remember that you can partner with us or support us by clicking the appropriate button below. For now, goodbye.